The old house on Maple Hill had been abandoned for years, its paint chipped, roof sagging, and porch creaking like it carried the weight of forgotten memories. When Michael Turner, a single father and night shift janitor at the local high school, bought it, people thought he'd lost his mind. But to Michael, it wasn't just an old house. It was a chance to give his 7-year-old daughter Emma the stable home she'd never had. After losing his wife in a car accident 2 years earlier, Michael had spent every day trying to fill the silence she left behind. "Daddy, will we really live here?" Emma asked as they stood before the peeling blue door. Michael smiled, brushing dust off her cheek. "We'll make it ours, sweetheart. Just you wait." Inside, the air smelled of rust and rain. The wallpaper hung like tired skin, and the floor groaned beneath their feet. But in Michael's eyes, he saw a possibility, a garden where Emma could play, a porch swing for quiet nights, a kitchen filled with laughter again. He worked double shifts to pay for supplies. Every nail he hammered was a promise, that Emma would never feel unsafe, that their life could begin again. Weeks passed. One morning, as he was fixing the fence, a Jeep pulled up the dirt driveway. 3 women stepped out, all in uniform. The first was tall, confident, wearing a white Navy officer's suit with gold trim. The other 2 were in army fatigues. Their faces carried that blend of discipline and quiet sorrow only soldiers knew. Michael wiped his hands on his jeans, confused. "Can I help you, ladies?" The officer stepped forward. "Mr. Turner?" she asked. "I'm Lieutenant Sarah Collins. These are Sergeant Rachel Moore and Corporal Lena Hayes. We're looking for the former owner of this property." Michael frowned. "That would have been Colonel Dawson, I think. The man who built this place." Sarah nodded. "Yes, he was our commanding officer. This house was where he brought us together, a sort of refuge during the hardest parts of our deployment. We heard it was sold recently." Michael's heart softened. "Well, I guess you've come back to your old home," he said gently. "It's not much right now, but you're welcome to look around." As they stepped inside, something shifted. The women moved through the rooms like they were touching ghosts, running fingers along window frames, standing quietly in the doorway of what had been the colonel's office. Emma peeked from behind Michael, clutching his leg. Sarah knelt down, smiling softly. "Hey there, sweetheart, what's your name?" "Emma," she whispered. "That's a beautiful name," Sarah said. "You like it here?" Emma nodded shyly. "Daddy says it'll be pretty soon." The soldiers exchanged looks. Sarah's voice trembled. "Colonel Dawson used to say that too. This place will be beautiful again." Over coffee that evening, they shared stories. How the colonel had taken them under his wing during a brutal tour in Afghanistan. How this house had become a symbol of survival. Rachel looked around and smiled faintly. "It's strange. Feels like he's still here somehow." When the women stood to leave, Michael said quietly, "You're welcome here anytime. Seems like this place means a lot to you." Sarah hesitated at the door. "Actually, would you let us help fix it up? It feels wrong to just walk away." Michael blinked. "You'd do that? Colonel Dawson always told us, never leave something unfinished," she said with a small smile. "Let's honor that." The next weekend, the sound of hammers and laughter filled the air. Sarah painted the porch with Emma beside her. Rachel repaired the fence line with precision. Lena, who had once been a mechanic, got the generator running again. The old house came alive piece by piece, new light through. Clean windows, wildflowers blooming near the gate, the smell of fresh paint mixing with pine. In those weeks, Michael found something he hadn't realized he'd lost: community. He'd spent so long surviving alone that he'd forgotten what it felt like to be helped. One night, after dinner on the porch, Sarah sat beside him as Emma chased fireflies in the yard. "You've done an amazing job, Michael," she said softly. He chuckled. "I couldn't have done it without your help. Honestly, I don't know how to thank you." Sarah looked at him, eyes full of quiet understanding. "You already have. You gave us back a piece of him, and a place to heal." He turned toward her, surprised to see a tear on her cheek. "When Dawson died," she continued, "we promised we'd come back here one day. We just didn't expect this. A new family, a new story." Michael reached for her hand gently. "Maybe that's what this place was meant for, new beginnings." By fall, the house was unrecognizable. The porch gleamed white, a new roof shimmered in the sun, and wind chimes danced in the breeze. On the last day of their project, the 3 soldiers stood in front of the house, uniforms pressed, holding a folded flag between them. Sarah handed it to Michael. "For you," she said. "Colonel Dawson would have wanted this home to belong to someone who fought his own battles and never gave up." Michael swallowed hard. "I don't deserve this." Rachel smiled. "You earned it the day you decided to rebuild, not just the house, but your life." As they saluted, Emma ran forward and hugged Sarah around the waist. "Will you come back?" she asked. Sarah knelt down, hugging her back tightly. "Always. You've got 3 soldiers watching over you now." Months later, the house on Maple Hill stood proud, a white flag of resilience against the storms. Michael often sat on the porch at dusk, watching Emma play, the sound of her laughter echoing across the fields. And sometimes, on quiet evenings, 3 women in uniform would pull up that dirt driveway again, not as soldiers this time, but as family. The house that once held memories of war now held peace. And for the first time since losing his wife, Michael finally felt at home.